The choices you make today will either set you up for success or trap you in regret. Here's how to avoid the biggest mistakes people do not see coming. And that is what I'm going to explain you with 5 simple points why you need to think in second order consequences. Because if you do not, you'll trap yourself in much regret. So let's get into it. As the first one is bad spending habits. I will explain this for people around the age 18 and around the age 35 years old. Bad spending habits. Many young people, even like myself, purchase subscriptions, eating out, coffee, Starbucks, like that's gadgets, Why do you want the newest iPhone? I always hear people, yeah, I'm going to buy the newest iPhone. So let's say it's the iPhone 15 Pro, and they have the iPhone 13 Pro. Why do you want to buy it? You're losing more money than the performance you gain eventually. That's a second order consequence. It is impacting your financial future and stability. So, for my first example, I will come to the 18-year-old. You buy McDonald's, Starbucks, gadgets, and just buy it impulsively. That is what big companies are doing. The colors they present you with, sale is red. Why? Red is a thing you need to watch out for. Watch out, it's a seal. Blood, watch out. There's something dangerous. It means something in your head that it goes like, I focus on that purely. That's right, a red car is something you see faster than a black car. Of course, the model depends on it, but a Ferrari you see much faster than a black Lamborghini Urus if you avoid the sound. Purely color. And if you're just spending impulsively, you're degrading yourself so much. In the end, you spend 100, 200 euros, dollars, easily, while you're thinking, I just spent a couple bucks. Now let's say you're 35 years old. You've got a bit experience, in life. You know what's good, you know what's bad. You think, let's reward myself. I'm going to buy myself a new car. But what you're doing is you're going to finance it. If that is a thing you want to do, you're better off leasing it eventually. Financing it. What is finance? Well, it's the same as buying a house. You take a mortgage for the car. Only the rent they ask, the percentage, usually is between 6 and 10. And then it becomes very pricey if you're doing it on a new car where depreciation is the one that will kill you eventually. Then you need to have fuel. As for in the Netherlands, we have steep road taxes. You have insurance. Then you have another insurance that's mandatory in the Netherlands, health care insurance. And then you're skyrocketing up your payments. Well, if you want to invest in your home or invest in something else, you cannot do that because of that. So that is why think financially, is this going to bring me value if I do it this way, or is there another way? Now, the next thing is you cannot avoid it eventually. And it is too much social media use. It honestly, I do not have any words to describe it. The amount of zombies there are created because of TikTok. Well, they're pocketing like this. Oh, well, let's go $50. $49 for me, $1 for the rest. And they can do it because they have so much traffic. TikTok is one of the most downloaded apps in the world. So you can only imagine that the one who created it just pockets everything. It goes like this. But what is happening with yourself eventually? Well, it can cause relationship issues, excessive wear on your brain, unrealistic expectations. It's the same with Hub. That is not real, it's just a scene eventually. So let's say you're 18 years old. You check, let's say TikTok. You're constantly checking it. Instagram. Be real. You're constantly watching it. Is your people party a lot on Instagram, Be Real, Snapchat stories. They only post the highlights. They do not post the loneliness or everything that goes around that. They only post, I'm here at this party, look how great my life is. When 3 weeks prior to that, they're feeling like they want to commit suicide. But let's say you're 35 years old, and this can apply, it is applicable to the 18-year-old. It's a mistake that I made. I needed to wake up at 7, and it was just around 11, I watched a TikTok. Oh, it's 12. Alright, no problem. If it's like 12:30 or 0:30, it's fine. And then it was 1, 2. So now you're already looking at 5 hours of sleep. And when it continues that, you wake up, you've done absolutely nothing because you do not remember it, and then you feel like total shit. That's why think what it is doing to you. It creates brain fog, lack of focus. Your health will decline eventually when you sleep less. There are all second order consequences of you using too much social media. But it can also impact this third one, which is job and career choices. Too much social media, you're not even focused on your job because you cannot even focus it. But it's not the main part of this. It has to do with what path you choose. We like comfortable, routine. We do not want to be put in a state, in a situation that we need to work. That's why TikTok is one of the best things that's created, because you get dopamine for doing this. You get dopamine for that. That's why it works so fucking good, because you're getting addicted to it, because you're getting dopamine, and when something feels good without doing much, that is the killer point. So let's say you're 18 years old, you take a job, and you stay there because it feels nice and cozy, like feel nice, warm, everything. But there are no really growth potentials. You're just stuck in a job that you don't want to do. You've wasted years you could invest in a skill, in a job, somewhere else, in a study. And you've wasted, you've gained nothing, but makes it harder down the line. Especially in the Netherlands, where you need to overpay for a house, which is not mortgage included. The mortgage you get here is 90%. So if your house costs 500,000 here in the Netherlands, which is today a very normal price, you get from the bank 450,000 with, let's say, 5% interest. But then the amount you need to have to make furniture, to make sure you get the house, you eventually pay this. And that is so fucking wrong, man. House is worth 500 grand. You pay 450 you get from the bank, which then you pay 5% interest over. But then you need furniture. You need to make your house your style. but you also need to overpay it. You end up on 6 grand at least. 600 grand. You need to have 1.5 thousand. No. Sorry. You need to have 150,000 of your own money to buy it at fucking 25 years old. So what do you think is going to be, especially here, if you just stay at a job you cannot progress in? But let's say you're 35 years old. You stay in a comfortable job, but it's unfulfilling. Man, what are you doing? Eventually down the line, you regret not taking the risk of a new job. There's nothing wrong with that. If you've been 4 years with the company, that's seen as good loyalty. If you go and apply for a job and you've worked 4 to 8 hours to 4 to 8 years at a company, they see that as good loyalty. But if you're job hopping every 2 months, then they're going to be a bit sketchy. So therefore, take that risk. But also remember what you're losing. One of the famous quotes here in the Netherlands is, "The grass is not greener on the other side." If you know what you left behind and what you gain, the grass may be greener on the other side. Now we get into the fourth P, which is again a factor in everything. Procrastination. I can keep it long, I can keep it short. But just putting off the work, not doing it, just staying in that comfortable, cozy zone that, man, you're wasting your whole fucking life. Have some balls. Do something. What are you meant to be? Just a government paying facility? You're just sponsoring the government for free. And they're sitting like, because they had shown the balls. And they're sitting nice on the beach, smoking a cigar with a cocktail in their hand, and they're doing like this. Ah, John, life is nice. Let's go to my Ferrari and, play some golf. You're paying for their Ferrari, eventually. So, if you're 18 years old, you put off studying. It's one of the things I mostly regret doing for my exams. I did not study properly, even though I passed. As for today, I regretted that I not did the work. I did not put in the work. I could have done much better, even though I'm against a next study. I know I could have done something better. I know I could have performed better. But I did not do it. I did not study. You know what I did? Scrolling on TikTok and watching Hop. That's what I did. It's one of the things I regret the most. But then, when the deadline comes, when the exam comes, you've not studied, what is the first reaction you have? Fuck, man, do I need to study? Man, I do not know it. How am I going to pass it? Everything, my life. You're just already overstressed, overwhelmed, because you're a fucking lazy ass piece of shit. That is what's happening. That is what you're doing to yourself. Just on pure joy. I hope you've let it sink in. I regret it. If you're watching this, you're still at school or you need to make your exam still. Do the work. I know it's not fun, but the best things are gained when you do not want to do it. If you're totally against it, you do not want to do it, the reward is bigger. So please, be wise. Think about your future. But it's also, if you're 35 years old, you're thinking about starting to working out, which for the 18 years olds, people can call me a body shamer after that, fine by me, but most of people are just a plus sized without even thinking about it, and they're 15. I see many, many women, especially, walking in the store just like this. So big they are already that I'm thinking, like, what are you consuming? And is it not bothering you that you're gaining that much weight? There's a second order consequence. If I consume this again, what is the next consequence going to be? I'm going to be gaining weight. Do I want that? No. Do not take it. Even if it's the temptation, do not take it. But then you start to procrastinate and not working out. And you think, I will do it next week. I'll do it next week. And then after a whole time, 3 years later, your health has been declining. And then it's like, fuck, did I do it? That is what procrastination does to you. Now we get into the last thing, which, oh man. Social media has one big consequence. And the way we have relationships now as social circles, we've gone from being a gentleman to an absolute train wreck. Relationships and social circles. Now, we assume someone is our friend, we've added them on Snapchat. Then, oh, he is my boyfriend because I've been snapping for him. What the fuck are you thinking? Do you call someone your boyfriend if you've never met them, only spoke through a digital technology, and then you say it's my soulmate? You know, when you're doing that, you're fucking the Lulu. You're the Lulu in your mind. If you've met through online connection and then started dating in real life, seeing each other, and then made the decision he's my boyfriend, I can accept that. But the way a relationship is created, the way we're treating your partner. In the 20th century, men will go bring flowers to a woman by their window, climb the ladder, face every consequence of the father that will be put through, a shotgun to their head, a belt, a base bat slapped against them. They wanted to sacrifice everything just to make their girl happy. The way we see relationships these days is wrong. And we see them like we want to be here. We want to be the big boy that is, famous of this basketball shot. We want to be popular in school. Man, you're better off choosing the right friends. As an 18-year-old, if you're choosing the wrong friends, you go a path you do not want to. The consequences are much heavier than you're gaining from it. You become overly stressed again. And then it's just falling from there. It's the same with a 35-year-old. Delaying the work, choosing friends that are not in the same thing you want to achieve. Then you're just declining yourself bit by bit, day by day. So how do you make sure you make the right choice? Because I can talk about what are you doing wrong, but you need to fix it. And that's what you're watching for. As an 18-year-old, track spending, avoid impulsively buyouts, save money. As I said, if I buy this Starbucks, brings it me joy? Yes, but it gains me weight. Do I want to do that? No. Okay, do not buy it. Do not gain weight from one Starbucks, obviously. Use social media wisely. Use it for your interest. That's what I've been doing with my Instagram. Now it's cars and Formula 1. I've completely cut out all the girls. Why? It was not in my interest, and it is at the end, the better decision I could make. Pick jobs where you can grow in it, where you can grow inside the company. That is much more work actually than picking a job that pays high, but you cannot develop yourself to become better. Stop procrastination. I don't know how to explain it. And choose your friends wisely. Choose the ones that are with you. That if you call them after 10 months on 3 in the night, they'll answer immediately. That are the friends you want to have. Now, as a 35-year-old, be smart with your money. What has more value to you? That nice fancy car or that home? Think about that then. Control your screen time. It's the same with the 18 years old. Use it wisely. Choose career growth. Prioritize health and habits. Exercising, eating better. As we get older, as a man, our testosterone is declining. Our metabolism is declining because of that. So then choose something that is better. Choose that less sugary product. Choose that there's something that has more protein in it, more vitamins. And the last thing, don't stay in situations, jobs that are never going to get you anywhere. So to sum everything up, the most important for as well as 35 years old, as 18 years old, does it bring value? Buying a car. For me, example, that was not buying a car. Why do I want a car? I want to drive comfortably. I want to have more freedom. And I know I can afford it. That are the 3 biggest reasons why I decided I want to buy a car. Second order consequence. I need to pay the insurance, road taxes, fuel. What happens if I crash? What happens if something goes wrong? You need to think of that further. What happens when someone steals my car? What is the depreciation? What am I going to be losing? You're thinking already 4 or 5 steps further. That's what you need to do. Does it bring value? What are the second consequences? And what are the consequences of the second consequence? So you're looking at the third consequence. And if you're still happy with the consequences you're about to face, then only then you should pursue that thing. So that is everything that I want to say. It is a hard video, and I know it, but it is reality. If you want to come somewhere in life, you need to put your mind to it. The biggest enemy you can face in life is you. So please do me a pleasure and start grinding. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next video.